Hi, my name is Sudo, and we as a group one would present our overview of our simulation. Our goal was simple when we took over the HR department. We have to increase in quality index, decrease the turnover, increase the morale, and decrease the accident, and improving productivity along with that. Improving quality index would help us decrease the cost, complaints, and improve the reputation of the company. Decreasing turnover would help us lower training costs and hiring, and we would have more retained talent, which would help us in long term. Improving employees' morale would improve the engagement we have at the company, and workplace accidents reduction would cause us to have reducing costs to the employees, and employees taking less leaves as they would be less injured on the workplace, which would increase our productivity and we would have more profit in general. Absenteeism condition would decrease, less work stoppage would lead to a good sign. Strategy: we increase employee engagement. Aiming to increase employee engagement belongs to Herzberg motivation hygienic theory, providing motivations such as recognition, advancement in career, and satisfaction. Improving employees' well-being and retention. Improving employees' well-being will lead to Maslow hierarchy of needs, which would safety, belong, SM, and increase commitment and retention. Attract and retain talent. Offer of a positive environment to attract more talent. Back human capital theory is one we used. Specifically, we went with the reward system, with we increased the pay by 3.6% on an average over all the departments, which motivated a lot of our employees. And we increased the safety and security. We had dental checkup, vision, and we have a good insurance plan. We had a retirement plan which would give them a security when they retire, they have something to go with. Motivation, we went with the expectancy theory, performance-based reward, incentives lead to greater efforts. Work-life balance was Herzberg, more holiday, sick leaves, and personal leaves increase job satisfaction and lower stress. And human capital and student loan paid off, and advancement and skills. And now I would have Luke present key decision throughout the 3 years.
My name is Luke Winkler, and I'm here to tell you about some of the key decisions that we made that made our company different than other companies. So starting off with year one, we had some key decisions that we made. We focused on diversity in hiring. We spent more on training to help develop a workplace that focused on quality and safety. We focused on benefits being a main driver to retain and attract new employees. We added services whenever budget allowed. We established a foothold by increasing entry-level positions by adding 75 cents to their pay. This allowed us to have a foothold over most of our competitors. Overall, at the end of year one, we had a strained budget, and we needed to make cuts to be able to actually hire more people. Going into some of the special decisions that we made year one, we decided to update the company website signage, diversify our recruitment sources, train our hiring managers and recruiters, implement blind screening, and develop a culture that is diverse and inclusive. We also offered Hardeep a position that he could still perform while visually impaired. This showed loyalty to our current employees. We also analyzed all jobs, including managerial, to make job responsibilities clear and stop potential legal trouble in the future. Going on to year 2 key decisions, we started with the new year with mass hiring to catch up with the gap that we had last year. We added tuition reimbursement and prescription drug plan, and then we also allowed more funds to get allocated towards training, especially near the end of the year. We also did not raise salaries until the end of year 2. Going into some of the special decisions, we decided to comply with the law to have a tier 3 healthcare plan, not only because it'd be cheaper, but it also allows us to give more to our employees that give to us. This would allow us to retain and potentially attract more employees. We also developed a zero tolerance policy and presented it in our department meetings. And we decided to promote both Margaret and Beth, seeing that both of their situations require them to take time for themselves and wouldn't interfere with job duties. It seemed to be the right choice. On to year 3, our budget dropped. However, the spending that we had for all 3 years, it was the lowest at the start. This allowed us to spend more across the year, especially in training. We were even able to add an additional vacation / sick day for all of our employees, and it allowed us to get a salary raise at the start of the year. Going on to some of the key decisions that we made, special decisions. We chose a performance-based system to be researched into possible implementation into the future. We terminated Ted due to harassment and gave Christina a written warning. We also reclassified the positions that were eligible for overtime to have overtime and paid the $10,000 that was owed in overtime. We also added 3 new programs, which was the wellness program, the mental health program, and the substance abuse program. And Justin is going to be going over our strengths, our weaknesses, and what we do differently.
Now on to our strengths and weaknesses of our HR strategy. I think one of our biggest strengths as HR director was how strongly we prioritize workplace safety and quality. We were intentional about creating a solid foundation early on, which helped us start strong in the simulation. We also made a clear effort to focus on diversity and inclusion, which supported both culture and performance. On top of that, I believe we handled special decisions very effectively, making choices that align with our broader strategy. On to our weaknesses. There are some clear weaknesses in our decision making. We overspent and went over budget, largely because we front-loaded too many resources early on. We also tried to get too far ahead of other groups too quickly, which ended up hurt us later when we fell behind due to lack of funds. Our major issue was the timing of our investments. We didn't always pace them out effectively, which created either lack of funding later on or just imbalances across groups. Now, if we were going to do things differently and start over from scratch, we'd focus a lot more on the timing and the balance of our funding. We'd invest a lot more in key benefits like healthcare earlier on, but in a more controlled way. We'd also maintain a steady pace instead of trying to get ahead too aggressively, especially with our wages and safety spending. Another big change would be leaving more room in the budget for adjustments so we could respond more effectively as conditions changed. This especially hurt us with the large healthcare improvement. Overall, better timing of our investments would have made a significant difference in our results and prevent us from going over budget or running out of budget too early on.
My name is Lucas, and I will be presenting the management implications from the simulation. HR decisions are strategic, not just administrative. Our decisions are for long-term improvements, not just the short-term. Each decision that we make is directly connected to performance, costs, and employee outcomes. The simulation really highlights the real-world challenges of an HR admin. We've learned that we needed to make decisions that influence productivity, labor costs, and employee performance. HR plays a key role in organizing the company, and all the small decisions that we need to make. We have very many interconnected HR decisions. We learned that many decisions are interdependent, such as hiring and training, compensation and retention, as well as benefits and morale. Poor alignment leads to negative outcomes. Short-term versus long-term trade-offs. Short-term savings can hurt long-term results. So reduced training equals lower productivity, lower benefits equals higher turnover, and balance is critical in HR decision making. Employee satisfaction drives performance. Higher satisfaction leads to lower turnover, reduced absenteeism, increased productivity. HR investments create long-term value for the whole company. Strategic alignment. HR must align with the company's goals. Growth goes into hiring and development. Cost control goes into efficiency and retention. Alignment improves overall performance of the company. We have a few key takeaways. HR is a strategic partner. Decisions must be interconnected. Balance short-term and long-term goals for the whole company. Use data to guide decisions, and invest in employees for better outcomes.